One of the key things to remember with WEBTEMP.xml is you can see it shows here's a portion of the core SharePoint Foundation web template file, and you don't want to ever modify this file when you're creating your own site definition. You never ever, actually for anything in SharePoint, you never want to modify any of the out-of-the-box files that come with the system. You always want to create new files, so you're going to create your own versions. Now one thing you can do is use this as a starting point, as a template basically, so you can copy this and then make changes on it, and at least you have the format of how it's supposed to look. So the key elements is each template element contains a name attribute with a value that matches the name of a folder in the 15 Hive template site templates directory, and then an ID attribute with an integer value that uniquely identifies a template on the server. So for example, here we could have a template name of STS for team site, and then it would live in that directory. So the name has to match that subfolder name. So the name of STS, and there has to be that subfolder under site template of STS. And then the ID attribute has to match the ID of another configuration element within the onet.xml file. So this is how we're able to have a base site definition to support multiple configurations. Now also with the site definitions, they support a mechanism similar to a feature receiver. There's these attributes: provision assembly, class, and data. And these attributes, actually it's provision assembly, provision class, and provision data attributes within a configuration element. They run custom code when a user creates a site. So this is kind of an older mechanism that SharePoint Server uses to provision portals that contain multiple webs. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and create and deploy our own WEBTEMP.xml file. Okay, in this demo, we're going to go ahead and build a custom site definition using the WEBTEMP.xml file. So I already have I created a new solution for chapter 12, and I'm going to add a blank SharePoint project to it. We'll call this chapter 12. And I want SharePoint empty project. This has to be a farm solution. You can't create site definitions any other way. They have to be farm solutions. Okay, now what I'm going to do is add a new element, new item. And here's the element that we want. We want site definition. So I'm going to call it custom site definition. Let's take a look at what Visual Studio just created. So here's the onet.xml file. This is what we're concerned about right here, is the WEBTEMP.xml file. Okay, we're going to modify this. I'll call it my custom site. And description, we'll just call it custom site definition. My custom site definition. Now the category, that's what shows up on the tab when you create the new site. In this case, we're going to create a new site collection. So the tab that lets you choose what category of site. So I'm just going to call it my customizations. I'm going to save that. Now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and let's rebuild this solution, and I'm going to deploy it. And that should deploy fairly quickly. And it did. So let's go ahead and open up Central Administration. And I'm going to create a new site collection. and I'll call it my custom site. Let's give URL of custom. So here you can see, here's the tab that we added, our category that correlates to a tab for selecting a template. So we click My Customizations, we'll see what we defined here. So that's the title. So that title correlates to the title of the template. And then the category, My Customizations, that correlates to this right here. So we'll go ahead and just finish the creation of this. Okay, so that's going to be provisioning that template right now, creating an instance of that template to create our site. Okay, it's created, so let's go ahead and navigate to our site. And you can see once this shows up, we base this off the blank site definition, so there's not going to be anything in there. We use the configuration ID of 0, which is the blank template. So if we go into site contents, there's not much in the blank template. These form templates and style library, those are defined in the global template. So that's all you get. But we got to see, we did get a site provision using our custom template, and here's the name of the site, custom site definition. So it worked. That's basically how you, you're modifying we modified the WEBTEMP _star, so in this case custom site definition.xml file, and then we provisioned that out. So we went ahead and we just deployed this package which contained our custom site definition. And notice how we don't even need a feature for that because it gets deployed directly to the 15 hive, so there's no feature necessary, just deploy it.